your boy Raindrop, Rain Drizzle, and my co-host, co-captain, Cole, conspirator, Uncle Juju.
What is up, babies?
How's everybody doing? Welcome back to BXTV, aka Back from Hell, your Spotify and YouTube podcast where you didn't know everything you needed to know. With your boys. So welcome back. Tonight's a little different. Juju will not be here this weekend. He has family coming into town. So instead of planning tonight, we are gonna do a little podcast, chat it up. You know what I mean? Talk about a couple things we've read this week and some other random stuff. You know. So I hope everybody is excited and ready as I am. Also, shout out. But no, welcome back. We usually like to do a thing called Comic Book of the Week, where we take a book and we put it on a chopping block of 1 to 10 on the story and the art. I actually have a book I want to bring up this week. It came out today. It's another Jonathan Hickman masterpiece, one would say, probably. I think it is. I'm gonna be honest. Before I talk about this, I personally don't really care for reading Alien comics. Like, I like reading a Predator one because I'm more in it for like the action and the excitement and the fight, rather than Alien is more of like a horror story in a sense.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with them. I get why people love Alien. It's just, you know me, I'm a Predator guy. You know, at the end of the day, I'm a Predator guy. And but Jonathan Hickman came out with this new miniseries. I think it's a miniseries, Alien Vs Avengers. And it basically, they are sending out mother xenomorphs or whatever, 4 of them, to 4 different locations on Earth and basically making them plant fucking babies everywhere.
Eggs.
Yeah, eggs, and take over the whole the Earth. And by the time, because basically T'Challa and like his squad pulls up on this spaceship, finds the 2 people who are, well, the 2 robots essentially, like AI people that are doing this, and I could definitely tell Hickman has watched Alien and like not Romulus, but Prometheus and shit like that. It had a lot of like those vibes. But basically T'Challa and all them find out like they're going to all these different planets, but one of them is Earth. And like by the time they figure out, it's too late. Like, it's already sent to Earth. Shit's going south, this, that, and the third. And they basically flash forward and like Earth is run to shit. Like even Wakanda fell. Like, everywhere is fallen, but there's one major city left, and it's in the U.S. and it's being held off, and it's on the brink of falling. And a lot of people are not left alive. Like, Bruce Banner's super fucking old. You don't even know it's him until he jumps. I mean, well, you do know it's him, but like, but either way, yeah, basically though, somebody has possibly found a cure to like fix the Earth. Basically, they're figuring out a virus that will kill the eggs and all that.
Ooh.
But it is pretty good, man. If you're an Alien fan, I don't see why you're not reading this. I mean, I could see why. It's like a $8 fucking book. But I mean, the Scotty Young cover, I don't think it was just the Scotty Young. I think they all were $7.99. So it is a steep price for a book. But I mean, the art's good. It felt like a very well thought out story. Like, none of it felt like simple or cut and dry. It felt like he did his research and he knew what he was talking about. And it felt like if you were an Alien fan and or a Avengers fan, like of Marvel, you could enjoy this story. Like, they did it very well on like having, you know, the xenomorphs or whatever pop out when they should and like attack. And
Yeah.
I mean, I definitely think Hickman is on a strong run right now, though. Between Ultimate Spider-Man, Wolverine's Revenge, and this, all bangers, man. Like, not a single like bad thing coming out from that dude. And like the art teams are incredible. Like this wasn't any like short of like great art. Like like Wolverine's Revenge and Ultimate
Yeah.
Spider-Man, they both have great artists, but this also did. So I just want to say, I mean, if you're looking for a good sci-fi like post-apocalyptic story, this is it. Like this really is like, I mean, which kind of seems to be on brand for his stories. Like uh the the Ultimate Spider-Man is kind of like not post-apocalyptic, but like post-future with like after like the fall of heroes. And then Wolverine's Revenge is also like the
The
fall,
post
post
of the
blackout.
West, basically.
Yeah,
Yeah.
post like EMP blackout of the West. And then going back farther, he has a story called East to West, which is an indie story published by Image, and that's like a story of the apocalypse happening, like
Mm.
it becoming a thing. And like so like he clearly has like I think I see where his brain lies on creativity and all that. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah. And it's also kind of like a symptom of the cultural anxiety is that we are kind of pursuing like these post-apocalyptic projects because it's like that's a very real possibility for us, you know. So it's kind of like a way of releasing our tension, you know.
I mean, to an extent, I don't think. I mean, knock on wood, but I don't think anybody's creating xenomorph. So I'm just let's be honest, Juju.
Yeah.
Um, but I mean, yeah, to an extent, maybe, but I don't know, man. He's definitely up there. I I don't hate to admit it, but I think I wouldn't say he's my favorite writer or anything, but I think like actively for somebody who's like putting his hand in a bunch of different cookie jars and producing stuff or creating stuff, I definitely
Yeah.
think he's like the most successful in my eyes. Like I feel like there's a lot of other people who do less work but still a lot of work, and they don't put nearly as much effort or don't nearly like
Yeah.
land as much as he does with all of his work. Like I personally haven't read anything lately that I'm like, "Oh, no, he should be doing less cuz this would have been better." Like I don't think anything in Ultimate Spider-Man was like has taken fault other than the one thing that my buddy Jerry pointed out, which was his dad's voice is in the suit. And he was saying, I would have enjoyed it if his dad wasn't an influence at all in the story because it would have made it a little different. And I agree. I feel like if we would have seen him just become evil from being evil within, it would have been a little bit more of a pure and unique story. But hey, that's a little hiccup. But I mean, I'm just saying, I'm giving him credit because he's doing a lot
Yeah.
and everything is quality, man. I'm not trying to glaze or ride anybody's dick, but if I you know what I mean though? Because like I read,
No,
I
no,
there's a
no.
couple.
I mean, we there are a couple major examples. Like, there was that. It was like the one most recent run that we had where it just dropped. The book just dropped off, like in a hard way, and it's really hard to balance all of these projects and give them all your time. And it seems like he's pulling it off. And kudos
Oh
for
yeah, like
real. Like,
100%. You know what I mean? I'm all for it. More Hickman. You know what I mean? Bring it all my way. I'll be reading it. I'm probably. It's gotten to the point where he could just put out a book and I'd probably buy it because he's writing it. It doesn't really matter if
oh, okay,
it doesn't
yeah,
really matter if it falls in my demographic of reads. I'm gonna just probably pick it up because Hickman's writing. Like I just know it'll be interesting and thought out. So why not like just you know what I mean? Like fuck it. Like unless it's something like super far out there and fucking weird, then no, I probably won't read it. But That's not true. I've been buying a lot of random weird stuff. I need to finish reading the Nocturnals, Volume 1 you gave me. That
Oh, okay.
I read a few issues out of that, and it's interesting, you know? I think it feels like a book that you could recommend to a non-comic book reader, but somebody who's into like crime and like monsters, because they're all like monster-ish of sort. I don't want to ruin it, but it's out there. It's an out there
So
book.
Juju did good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It definitely like it was Russian roulette though, because that art style, I could see a lot of people not being able to.
Not vibing with it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, you know what I mean.
I mean, I was just more or less thumbing through it, looking and being like, "Hey, this is different." And I enjoyed like the couple of panels that I read, and I was like, "I think this is something that Rainey would definitely be interested in."
No, yeah, yeah.
And for the price, I was just like, "All right, I gotta buy this." You
Well,
know?
it's a oversized hardcover for $30, and it's a whole volume, so it's like that
Yeah.
thick. So like, yeah, it's a fire one. It really just made me want to read Hellboy though, because I haven't read Hellboy start to finish, and
Yeah.
it was like, I was like, fuck, man, I really just want to read some Hellboy. Like, I'm eventually just gonna buy the monster size Omni, cause like, why the fuck? If you're gonna read all of Hellboy, that's the
Dude,
best.
I, I'll just give you my volume 1. It's sitting at my mom's house, and
Yeah,
like,
but like,
I'm
I mean, like, I'll take it, but the monster size, the
it's
oversize,
yeah.
has literally everything, like start to finish. That's not like,
Yeah. It's,
yeah. So, and it's collected in the right order. So, and it's like $80 right now. So I'm like, the only problem I have with it is I'm gonna have to rearrange my bookshelf because how fucking big it is. Like,
yeah.
I'm gonna have to, because I have like the adjustable shelves. I'm gonna have to like lower and like raise them to fit this motherfucker. I already have one book. I have this Marvel encyclopedia that Emma got me. It's sick as fuck, but it's so goddamn big that I gotta put it. I had to like move it to a different
Yeah.
shelf.
I mean, let's be honest. In the library, that book is under the resource section where you're not allowed to check those books out.
What, the encyclopedia thing?
Uh, They have a
Oh,
whole section just with encyclopedias, and they used to have the Star Trek and Star Wars one, and those couldn't leave the library, like because they were reference books, so everybody had to. It
yeah,
was
yeah.
stupid though. I was like, this deserves to be in sci-fi. I want to
No,
take this home with me.
no, because you know damn well somebody would definitely not bring that book back.
And that person would probably be me.
Yeah, because it's probably an expensive ass book, and it's probably like a first or second print of some sort.
Yeah.
Excuse me, and I guarantee you somebody would have just never gone back to the library rather than buying one.
Yeah. No, you're right on that one. It's like
I've been slowly learning about books just because of like comic book hunting and like trying
yeah.
to find like antiques and shit like that. And it was really shout out Goosebumps, you know. If I didn't find that like plethora of Goosebumps at that one antique store, I would have never learned how much they were worth, and
Yeah.
it just kind of got me on like a downhill spiral or roll of like, oh, how much are these books worth in like a first print? How much are these? Because
Yeah.
like, I do go to enough antique and thrift stores that like, all right, maybe I should start like keeping an
Yeah.
eye out for other shit. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I have a Wizard of Oz tape that's worth $80, and I'm like, what the fuck am I gonna do with this? Like, I mean, obviously I'm gonna sell it on
Yeah.
eBay, but it's just like you're gonna go to my eBay and it's gonna be the most like random assortment of collectibles. You know what I mean? Like, I don't
Yeah.
really like a lot of the shit that I have that's like I want to sell that's like worth money isn't anything that I'm really into. So like it doesn't
Yeah.
really show who I am if I put, you know what I mean? Like if you were trying to judge
Yeah.
me based off of what I'm going to post on eBay, you're going to be like this guy's fucking oddball, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like
No, dude. Like, when I lived on the apartment on Boulevard, I was walking to go and get a cannoli up the street, of all things. And I walked by the Swan bookstore, and out in their trash was like a stack of books. And I just went and kind of like looked at them, and it was like all the humanist writers, so fucking Rousseau, Diderot, all the philosophers, Greek philosophy, fucking Dante, and they were all in this collected, like really nice like series of books, and they were kind of old. And I was like, why the fuck are you gonna throw this out? Like, I get it doesn't sell, but like, come on.
yeah.
I, I, Thomas Paine's fucking Common Sense in like clear print with annotations. Like, come on, that's worth preserving. I think, in my opinion. So I fucking stole as many as I could.
Juju, it's not
You know,
stealing if it was in the trash, brother. I'm sorry to break it to you. You didn't. You
I didn't steal it, but like,
you
you
rescued
know,
them, if anything.
yeah, and like I believe they're upstairs in my closet somewhere, but. I was like, one day I'm gonna get bored and I'm gonna want to read what the French philosophers were fucking saying back in like the 1700s.
Couldn't be me, but I understand.
Yeah.
I get it.
But
I get it.
what else have you been reading there, bud?
Uh, I've read a good bit this week. I got my weeklies yesterday or whatever from Velocity. Shout out Velocity Comics in Richmond.
Yeah,
That is the LCS.
I'm going up there tomorrow.
Hell yeah. A lot of good stuff came out this week. I read Spawn Kills Every Spawn #2. That was pretty fun. I like the ending of it. The ending, spoiler alert, has a basically he's trying to get a team of spawns together to kill all the main spawns. He like realizes he doesn't need to kill every spawn. He just needs to kill the main one so he can be the main one. And so he like puts out a thing for a bunch of spawns to sign up to make a team to kill Spawn. And I won't spoil which Spawn shows up, but an actual Spawn shows up, and he's like, "Wait." He's like, "Do you have applications for all of us?" And he's like, "What do you mean all of? Oh my god!" He looks up, and it's just a convention like line full of spawns, and it's like they're not even like, I guess they're like canon somewhat now, like in like an offbeat scenario, but they had like a Homer and Marge painted and dressed up as Spawn. They had like fucking Crash Bandicoot as Spawn. Like, I mean, they had all these different cartoon characters as
Just all these
Spawn.
cameos.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then like he was like, "How am I gonna decide like which spawns?" And it was like, "We're the bikini model spawns," and he was like, "I'll be able to decide." And it like says like to be continued or whatever for issue 3. So that was fun. That was like a nice like I read some serious books, and that was like a nice like breather. Book I was really excited for, written by Jason Aaron. I believe he's doing TMNT or whatever. Batman Offworlds. That's the one where Batman
Oh
goes to
yeah, yeah.
space. Issue 5, I believe, is what it was. That was really good. It leaves off on a cliffhanger, so I don't know what's gonna happen with him. I was very skeptical of Batman in space before I pulled it, but I've loved the art and the writing. Like, the writing this issue was so fucking Batman that you almost, like, didn't even, like, it didn't matter he was in space. It just
Yeah.
felt so Batman that, like, okay, so he's getting his ass beat by this dude that he's been fighting for, like, an issue or two. Who's hunting him
Yeah.
down. He's a space bounty hunter. And,
Ooh.
he's getting his ass beat, and he's writing in detail how he's getting his ass beat, and he's talking about how his jaw, he's like, his tooth just got knocked loose, and he can feel it rattling around his mouth, and he's like, oh, my jaw just got dislocated, now I'm swallowing the tooth, wait, I huck the tooth back up, now I'm biting on the tooth so I can bite my jaw like into
Yeah.
place. And it was just like nobody else can sound so badass while getting their ass beat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he's like going in detail about how he needs to take like how he can feel every inch of like his body being withered away. But then he's also talking about the process of like getting back into order so he can like overcome this enemy. And it's just like that, like, I don't know, man. It was just like, holy fuck, bro. This might not be the most like brutal drawn panel, but like writing wise, it was rough. Like, it was like, holy shit, bro. It felt like you were reading like a mob beat scene and felt like you were watching like a scene like in a mob movie where they just like beat the shit out of the guy before they kill him type shit. You know what I mean? Like,
Some Goodfellas type shit.
literally, it felt like that Goodfellas scene. And but then he like, he pulls through and he like does his Batman shit and he overcomes.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I definitely think if you are an actual Batman fan, you should be reading Batman Off-Worlds. Like it's very much like, oh, okay, like let's do something and it's do something new but keep it very Batman. Like for instance, he falls in love with a chick, like a space girl, like alien, like free floater type chick, and uh, basically they fall in love. He doesn't want to like go run the universe, like run around the universe with her. He wants to free the slaves and stuff. So she gets mad that he basically chooses that over her, and she ends up tricking him. She shows up after he beats Homeboy or like gets free, and she's like, "Bruce, I knew you'd be here." And he turns around, she has his gun on him, and like she basically turns him in for the bounty, and that's where it leaves off. He's with the Black Sun twins or whatever. And it's like it's typical Batman though. He falls in love with some chick who's not so good, and she ends up turning her back on him. Like typical fucking Bruce Wayne moment.
In the typical Batman movement as well, set her up to do that so he could infiltrate and kick their asses.
No, because
That's unexpected.
no. If you read it, that's not what happened. Like,
Okay.
like she found him, and when she dropped him off, basically the Black Sun twins, one of them has like super strength and shit and can like just like beat the fuck out of people like in one punch, like rip your head off type shit. And the other one can like whisper things into you and kill you. Like you can like whisper things and like make people kill each other and like also like have you die from whispering into your ear. So basically the one twin's beating up Bruce the whole time, and then the other one, and while he's like beating him up, he's like, my brother has also had some words he wants to tell you, and he's leaning into Bruce. So like, I don't think that's what happened. I don't think it was him purposely getting trapped, because like he had a plan kind of like where he was like of like getting out of there, and then she kind of just showed up.
Okay, so she threw a monkey wrench in the whole thing.
Yeah, like cuz she's like a bounty like thief space person. So like as soon as she found out that like she knew where he was kind of thing, like I feel like she was like, well, you don't love me really, like, so I'm gonna just get my money off you. Like, you know what I mean? Kind of like a Catwoman scenario. Like, like you're not gonna choose me and my life of crime over being Batman, so it's fuck you at the end of the day. Like I'm gonna get diamonds or whatever from this bad guy for trapping you. You know, like it, and that's why I'm saying if you like Batman, I definitely think when this comes out in a collected edition, you should buy it. Like you should definitely buy the collected edition of this when it comes out.
I know that it shows up in my Amazon box. I have all 5. I just haven't.
Oh, so you have them online. You should definitely read it then.
Yeah.
You should get caught up. You would.
Yeah. I was going to tell you, I got the notification today that it was in my library. That's why I was like, oh shit, yeah.
Man, when I found out that Pat likes Batman Off-Worlds, or he was reading it at least. And when I saw it was on the FOC, when I emailed him, I put Batman Off-Worlds, let's go. Like, I usually just give him my list, but
Yeah.
like, I actually was like, let's fucking go. Somebody that I know is reading
Yes.
this. Like, fuck yes, dude. I'm just all for Batman right now after Cape Crusader.
Yeah.
Like, it put such a light under my ass. Like, this week, since you're not gonna be on the pod, I'm just gonna
Yeah.
read that fucking whole Snyder Capullo Omni 1 through 33 or whatever the fuck it is. I'm just gonna
Oh,
read
word.
that. And then I'm gonna order number 2, I think, next week. Because it is only 2 Omnis, but it's like 60, 70 issues total. So it's,
All right, word. It's manageable.
yeah. I mean, I'm excited though. But what else? What else have I read this since I have a stack of shit I read, but I just can't remember it because I'm stoned.
That's okay. You're good. Um, I I discovered my new favorite show.
What is
Um,
that? One
the
Piece?
Serpent Queen.
Oh no.
Oh, the Serpent Queen. Fucking what I call a house of cards in medieval France. Probably one of the best shows that Stars has come up with, and I don't say that lightly. Um, I love the acting in it. I love the fact that they present it in such a way that it's like Catherine de Medici, the main person, is like the ultimate feminist. Her whole goal in life is just to be free of all the men in her life, basically. And all the men in her life are fucking retarded, and she's like the only
Whoa,
smart
you,
person
you
in the
can't say
room.
that.
Like,
You can't say that word.
oh, sorry. They are
Lunch boxes.
not, yes, lunchboxes. They're not bright, and they think they're bright. That's the funny part. Like, so whenever she does, they do like the fourth wall breaks, which are fucking great because it just puts it to you in like common terms that like a normal person could understand because they're not using the pompous language. They're talking like everyday normal people. Like
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
dropping cunt and fuck and like they're telling the king to
Okay.
go fuck himself and like shit like that. And a lot of poison, a lot of people bite the dust. Um,
Damn, okay. I also found my new favorite show recently. Did as well. It's not new, but all of it's on Netflix right now, so it's my new
yeah.
favorite show. And that would be Preacher.
Oh yes. Oh
I'm
yeah.
I'm really digging Preacher, dude. I'm only on season 1, but like uh I fucking love it. I think my favorite character though is Cassidy. Like
Okay.
cuz if I was a vampire, I would definitely be Cassidy. He
Oh
fucking
shit.
he fucking he just is like he's not like a typical vampire. He's an Irish like punk dude kinda. He's like all tatted up and like he just does hella drugs and like fucks mad hookers and like he gets hurt all the time because he knows he can heal himself. So I'm just like I'm not saying I would do drugs and fuck hookers, but if I was a vampire, I would smoke hella cigarettes.
Yes.
Like
Hello cigarette. I chains, just
yeah,
chain
it wouldn't
smoke
matter.
cigarette.
You live
Yeah,
forever. Like, why the fuck would you not be
I mean,
smoke?
like, and I'm like, okay, s- traditional vampire rules. Vampires can only drink blood, so you can't drink wine, you can't drink
Well,
water, you
no.
can't have food.
See, that's why I like Preacher because it changes that whole dynamic.
Okay, yeah,
So like
all right,
Cassidy, because like Tulip, Preacher's ex girlfriend, she asked Cassidy like, she finds out he's a vampire and she's like, so do you crave human blood? And he was like, no. He was like, I don't crave human blood. He was like, what else did he say wasn't true? He was like, crosses and crucifix are just
yeah,
old racist derogatory symbols of history. And it is like, that's the more scary part about him or whatever. And then the only thing that does work is like he can't see his reflection,
Okay.
and what was the other thing? There was sunlight. Sunlight's a big one.
Okay.
But like he can wear like a hat and like a jacket and sunglasses and be fine.
Okay. Yeah.
But like sunlight's like the biggest one. But like so if he gets like if he jumps out of this happens in the show. He jumps out of a plane with a bottle of human blood and he lands and he's splattered on the ground like his intestines and shit. But he drinks the human blood and he starts to like regenerate, like reform. So I was like, all right, so this is how we're playing it. Basically, if he drinks human blood, he heals. Like,
Okay. So it's not a necessity. It's just kind of like,
yeah, like
yeah.
keeps him alive. Basically, when he
It's like a Tylenol.
yeah, pretty much like a really
I like that. All right.
a really needed Tylenol though, like a life or death Tylenol. Have you watched it?
Damn. I watched the first episode when it came out on I believe it was on Sci-Fi first, and then or Sci-Fi or TBS. I'm
I
not
don't
sure.
think so. I don't think so. I'm about to Google it.
Yeah. Remember watching it in Colas on the big screen TV. So it was like on one of the cable stations. I know that.
Yeah, I thought so. AMC.
AMC. Okay. Yeah. All right.
Sony Pictures Television was the production company.
Oh, nice.
And Seth Rogen was the one who
That
brought it from.
motherfucker shows up in all. Him and Kevin Smith show up in literally all things comic book now.
Yeah, man.
Like outside of Marvel.
Yeah, I feel like Seth Rogen has kind of taken the torch. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I feel like comic book stuff, that's like all him now. Like, he just cooks on that shit. But, I mean, he's a stoner. Like, he knows comics probably, dude. Like,
Oh, for sure. Not only comics, but just popular culture in general. He's like he's like Seth MacFarlane in that way.
yeah, I
Um,
could see that. I could definitely see that.
like having was it Breakfast Club in the TMNT movie? It was either Breakfast Club or Pretty in Pink.
Oh, I can't remember. I saw that when it came out, like the first week. I
Yeah.
know what you're talking about, but I don't remember what movie he has playing in that.
It was like some random '80s Ferris
Yeah,
Bueller, maybe. I
I
don't
think it
remember.
was Breakfast Club.
It
I want to say it was Breakfast Club.
was Breakfast Club. Like, and that's also another thing that I loved about the TMNT
Or
movie
was
was
it?
that
Or
they
was it
threw.
16 Candles?
I I swear it could be Ferris Bueller.
It could have been. It could.
It
We're
could
just
have
naming everything now. See, I literally,
Planes, trains, and automobile.
I smoked 3 blunts, and I smoked 1 on the way there. And as I was getting out of the car, I was putting it out.
Damn.
So I was stoned to the fucking bone walking into that movie, dude. Like, me and Chris probably smelt like a fucking ashtray of Kush. Like,
And some disappointing Christian mom is sitting there rethinking her life choices.
I don't think a
and bringing
Christian
her
mom
to
is
this
taking a
movie.
kid to a Ninja Turtles movie, bro. That, like, defies every law of God. Like, mutant Ninja Turtles? Like, nah, bro. That's somehow equivalent to Satan in their world. Like, there's.
It's like Pokemon being
Dude,
satanic
no.
because of evolution.
Because I knew these we called them the Bible kids in my neighborhood.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say their names. I can tell you off the air, but just out of respect, I won't say their names. I've told you the story. I stuck a porno mag in their mailbox and
Yeah.
sent a letter around to my whole neighborhood. they weren't allowed to watch Cartoon Network, like Teen Titans and shit like that. So I was like, that's how like their parents were hardcore Christian. Like they thought that shit was too violent and like dark. And I was like, no, it makes your kid actually
No.
question his thoughts and his fucking emotions. So you're like, don't watch
Yeah,
this
man.
shit.
Like, my parents swore to God that watching Star Trek made me atheist. And I was like, no. Going to church made me atheist.
No, you
And I'm
forcing
not
me to
an
go to
atheist.
church.
Yes. And I'm not an atheist. I believe that I'm a spiritual person. I believe there's more to it than we actually know.
Yeah.
But I don't believe in like the sacred guy on the fucking altar is gonna tell me how to live my life because of a book. That I don't believe. Um and my mom swore that it was Star Trek because they're going from planet to planet, meeting various civilizations that have different religions from everybody else, and like, oh, that's not, holy and sanctimonious or whatever. And I'm like, it's just television.
Yeah, but that's basically what Earth is.
Yeah,
The same shit happening on Earth. Everybody in every different fucking
exactly.
country got a different religion. So what's the fucking difference? Why would the TV show make them atheists, and why would not just living on
Yeah,
Earth make them atheists?
just living on Earth and going to a public fucking school,
Like, holy shit, bro! You can drive down fucking the back roads of Short Pump, and there's a Lebanese, a Jewish church, a fucking
Yep.
Muslim church, I believe a Korean church, like, and that's all on one fucking road, like,
Yeah.
which is
And dude,
crazy.
that's another part about the Serpent Queen that I fucking love is that they just take down religion and the ridiculousness of it all. Especially when it comes to like world politics, where it's like everybody needs to realize that like the church should have no involvement in secular government. Like it's a bad idea. But we're not here to argue that.
Yeah, nah. I don't have stars, or I'd probably try to check it out.
I know the first season is free on Prime, and then I think you have to have a subscription after that. But I used my 7-day free and binge watched the second season, so
Okay, okay, good to
which I
know.
believe just recently dropped. So
I need to get a Paramount account so I can watch Mutant Mayhem, the show.
yeah,
I
I need to activate my Paramount account again.
Yeah, I just need to get one. I'll probably let's see. The problem is I'm probably not gonna watch anything else other than that. Like,
Yeah,
I already
uh,
know it. I already know it, and
it,
it's like, so it's one of
and
those ones that like I want to just get a Blu-ray player, and I'll wait for that to come out on Blu-ray,
yeah,
and then I'll just fucking have it on Blu-ray. Because I don't have enough disc. I actually only own
yeah.
2 Blu-rays, 3 Blu-rays. I own a Hellboy animated one that has 2 animated movies on it, and then I own the other guys and Life of Pi. Because way back, I was on a movie kick, and I really wanted to watch Life of Pi or whatever. The one where he's stuck on the boat with the tiger.
With the tiger.
That is a great fucking movie, dude. It
Yes.
might not hold up, but when I used to do opiates and smoke hella weed together, don't do drugs, kids. But when I used to do drugs, that was an emotional fucking film for me.
I think that was that Shamalama?
I think so. I think
I
so.
think
I have it over there. I just don't feel like getting up and going to look. It also
I
pisses me
honestly
off to
think that
look at it because
yeah.
I don't have a Blu-ray player at the moment. I traded my
Oh,
Xbox for an iPhone. I'm like, God damn it, bro! As soon as I get into physical media, I need a Blu-ray player. Like, and I don't
yeah,
have it.
and and you had a machine that had one built in
Yeah,
as a secondary feature, mind you.
Is what it is, though.
Yeah, that's why when I upgrade, I'm not gonna get rid of this. I'm just gonna unplug it and let it let it rest until like I want to watch a DVD or something. Because I have a feeling that discs are gonna be a thing of the past.
Well,
You know?
no, you just buy. They just sell either one with a disc drive or one without a disc drive, and the one without the disc drive is usually cheaper. There's an
Oh,
option
okay,
because they know people collect physical media. Because if there's no physical media, they can't sell box sets and shit.
okay,
So,
all right. That's that's fucking good to know. Um,
yeah. I mean,
so
there's a lot of games not coming out on physical media, but that's mostly like online games, like
yeah,
multiplayer, like open world or whatever.
yeah. So what's one piece of physical media you'd like to get your hands on eventually?
You asked me this the other week.
Well, I'm expanding the question from like not just like DVDs and stuff, but like records, cassettes, CDs, hell, even
uh,
CD-ROM.
I would. It's okay. So, um, I would like to own a couple of the like. I don't know how expensive they are, but I would like to own a couple of the earlier albums of Wu Tang on cassette. Um,
Yeah,
I'm sure the records are expensive as fuck too, but I think the cassettes would be cool.
yeah.
And I also at some point would like to own like all of the Ninja Turtle games.
Okay. Ooh, ooh.
That'd be really cool.
Yeah. Yes, that would be a cool fucking collection. I I would like to get my hands on an original SNES cartridge from Mortal Kombat
Oh, that'd be
because
fire.
that was the one game that I couldn't buy when I had the opportunity to, and
Yeah.
just to play the original one last time would be kind of fun.
Oh hell yeah, dude! You ever thought about getting an old gaming system?
Um, I have one that needs to be fixed, so that's like kind of in the pipeline of the future. Like one day I'll take it to like one of these mom and pop shops and see what they can do with it. I think it just needs a new controller port because the controller one doesn't work. And I know that it's not the controllers themselves because I tested both of them, and it's just that one jack that doesn't work.
Okay, hell yeah. Well, I wish you luck. I gotta get the
Yeah.
new RCA cable or whatever, and then I'll have a 64 working.
Yes.
That will be nice. And then we'll do game
Yeah.
nights on 64.
And I would like to get the box set of Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. The the one that came with all the special features and it had like a bunch of books and like collectible playing cards inside. If I could find like a sealed one of that, I'd be happy. And then I'd be done with Harry Potter, like because I just want those four.
Hell yeah, dude. Well, my dudes, let us know in the comments down below what piece of physical media you would like to own in your lifetime if money wasn't a factor. And remember, we do a live stream every week, other than this week, at on Twitch at Friday and Saturdays at 12 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So make sure you follow, you like, comment, subscribe, whatever. And remember, never offended, always recommended. And have a good day, good week, good night, whatever. Peace.